ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Hey Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL Pro League. Map 1 is done and dusted, although it was a much longer affair than we first expected. Welcome back. Sayado, thanks for joining us.
Hey, sorry, I had to get a drink of water after all the hot fire I was spitting there, guys. So.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but TPL doesn't mean ESL Pun League. It's ESL Pro League.
For the 10 people, all right, I just got to clarify. I was quoting the song Raise a Little Hell by Trooper. I missed a key line, which is like when your own ship is sinking and you're too tired to play
Why are we
the
doing
game.
this again?
But the whole thing is that they were troopers, but get it? It was pretty good.
I know that, to be fair, you were actually making a legit point, whether it was on purpose or not. A lot of people did appreciate it there as well.
There was one guy on Reddit that appreciated it. He also said you were unprofessional for walking out, and I agree, you are.
Of course I am.
All right, let's round it in, boys. I don't have a lasso or any other way to get your attention, but let's look at the next map now as well. It's going to be Cash on this one. And I think it was a conversation we're having actually while the map was happening, and you alluded to it previously, is that Cobble probably not heavily practiced by Fnatic at this time. But Cash is one of the only 2 maps before this game that actually played in the Pro League so far.
Definitely, and it's one of the maps they're practicing right now as well. I would assume that you know, on this map, it's not going to be as competitive as it was in Cobble, and that only happened, you know, after the first half. We thought that Fnatic was going to be able to close out Cobble pretty easily as well. But on Cash, so far the two maps we've seen them, they've looked really solid, especially on their CT side. All of Meister now on the B bomb side does a great job of, you know, being aggressive at times, getting good timings, and getting a lot of information for his team as well. So yeah, I'm expecting this to be a clear-cut win for Fnatic.
And we did see the
We said that
Fnatic.
last time too, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, that was on the merits, I guess, of the teams and not maybe the map or the practice. So it's good to get a little extra information of where they're at. But we've seen the double AWP play come in on the CT side for Fnatic. It worked out quite well for them on Cobble. Matt, what are your thoughts here as well? We're seeing it passed around a bit, though, because it's Dennis, Olaf, and Twist who can all perform that role. Are they just playing it off these spawns, or is there something else to it?
I'd say between Olaf and Dennis, it might be spawn related, or maybe just who feels they need it the most, given the position that they are playing. So maybe not a spawn, but let's say, for example, if Olaf's in mid and the rifle's insufficient, he's been not winning the duel, he'll switch it up. So to go back to Fnatic as a history of this, they've always had diversity in their op and people that are capable of opping on the team. Twist, I think, will be more the primary as we get into this lineup, but this map is one that they were traditionally the best double op team on, and Olaf at B was always very good. So I think they'll go to it again here. It's the T side that we look at, but as you mentioned, and as Lekros stated in talking to Henry this past week, that it's very, very clear that they've only played about 3 maps coming into this season. So I expect they'll have a much better map, sort of a blueprint to base themselves off of.
You know, and considering that, you have a couple of patterns you can see from their play, right? Yes, they practiced Cash, but they cannot have such a wide array of tactics or strategies or you know, general moves they want to go for. So you could tell from the 2 maps they play, they mostly focused on A bomb site in their pistol rounds, right? They play a lot out of default. So Hellraisers maybe paid a bit of attention to how Fnatic played out those 2 maps on Cash. They could have you know, an idea of how they could counter that playstyle.
So Hellraisers as a team would probably, you know, if we're going to compare CIS teams in some ways and not others, let's look at it in this way. Maybe not as slow to move or maybe as passive or as I guess, captivated by the setup of a round than maybe your flip sides are. Would you say a more aggressive team, a team that can maybe capitalize a little bit more on the CT side, at least in terms of the aggression they can put out?
Yeah, I think they're definitely willing to be aggressive more than some of the other teams, especially Angel, known as a player who can't really stand in one place for too long. So that might be a good and a bad thing, right? Depending on how they read the game. Do they go aggressive at the right time in the right positions, or they mess it up a little bit? But I think they have a problem a little bit of adapting. If their initial plan is not working, they're a bit slow to adapt.
Is that a calling problem, or is it just a stubbornness in the team? Is it like we can still make this work, or does it come down to the person who's calling the shots?
I don't think it's stubborn. I think it's more, it could be an example of, you know, the caller not getting good enough info from his teammates, so they're not maybe aware fully to what's being done to them, so to speak, right? What the opponent is actually doing and why they're losing those rounds. Sometimes you, especially on the T side, you might lose a round, and it's really important to have the ability to distinct whether you lost the round because the call was bad, you know, you were heading to a wrong place, or because the execution itself was bad, but the idea was actually good. So not a lot of times can you really make that call, especially in the heat of the moment, and if you're the in-game leader and playing, right, it can get a bit too hectic. So I think that could be the main reason.
All right, well, we've pretty much covered this one here as well. You think this is going to be more clear-cut for Fnatic, guys?
Yeah, I am, big time.
All right, well, we'll see if that is going to be the case. A map they're more practiced on, but of course, Hellraisers had better hope that they're ready for it. We, however, are ready to pass it over to the casters, so take it away, Pansy and Natu.
Thank you so much, and yes, Mitch made it out of Australia. You know, he's been wrangling those crocodiles, and he can barely keep that desk in check. You know what I mean? When you're surrounded by people like Matt and Yanko, I don't know.
Well, is that a thing of, does it tell something about him or about the guys?
Or the guest. It's up to you. That's subjective. That's all you guys at home. You
Just
work
saying.
it out. You work it out. I don't know. It's brilliant. I also have to say a big thank you to the guy who actually photoshopped Matt's face into the sun from the Teletubbies. Thank you for taking that time and spending that much time looking at Matt's face. But yeah, let's get into Cash, because Fnatic have a bit of a point to prove now. We get to see them on a map they've practiced, and they have, you know, well-versed play-in, let's say. Now, Hellraisers, they've got to know what they're coming into here.
Yeah, definitely. Now, this one here, though, if you play style-wise, they should actually be a little bit more comfortable for Hellraisers in a way, especially on the CT side. Even though they had a great CT side on Cobblestone, but Hellraisers' bread and butter has been aggressive. You know, the Angels game style, his team's play style always has been about the aggression on the CT side, and this map enables a lot of that. So let's see how it all works out. However, we're already live here. Fnatic starting on the T side. They have 1 set of nades once again, and it seems like they're going to be boosting, but this is going to be a bit of aggression right away.
Are they
for
counter
Hellraisers.
boosting? Oh, this is nice. Angel, gotta be careful on this. I don't know if that's hurt. Oh, that's brilliant. He took 3 of them, though. That's information gathered. That was the minimum you're gonna get out of that, 1 for 1. But now Sticko doesn't find anything out of it as well. That's a bit of an issue. He could have made more of that as well, but caught in no man's land. And Fnatic will have the upper hand on the T side already. They still have that utility on Lekro to build something into this with as well. So Smike gonna get picked up by Lekro himself. No armor as well, so nice job from him. Bondik needs to back away from this. Fnatic have full control here. They are well and truly in the reins. Now you can see Zero spotted out Olaf, so they can make the assumption this is the B split coming in. The smoke can go to CT and just block off Zero. There it is. And now the bomb can make its route across.
This should definitely favor Fnatic at this point. Bondik, though, he knows he has to make a play. They need to get a kill before the bomb goes down, or it's going to be a very, very hard retake. B cash retakes are hard, even when even numbered, let alone in a 2-on-4. And, well, they do have a kit, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
And they've tried to single out the player towards the side, but Dares actually has a lovely angle to watch the cross through, but he doesn't need it. It's Lekro to be waiting there with 2. And they'll do the job just fine. But that could have been different. That could have gone so much, worse for Fnatic then if maybe a little bit more was made from that counter boost in mid. Certain pieces could have fallen into place.
Yeah, I mean, 1-for-1 trade to start things off, and then Fnatic read the play correctly. They pushed the guy in middle, got the kill, got the numbers advantage. Went into the B bomb side, 4-1-2 bomb down, and it's pretty much over at that point. So a great start for Fnatic's T side. Now with Hellraisers once again, they're going for those force buys. They like them. And well, Stico shows why, because he gets a nice 1 dig on the twist.
Good start for them here. Sadly, they can't recover that gun. I think it fell over the other side, so a bit of a shame in that sort of aspect. And let's see where they plan to take this. Olaf must have been given a lot of control towards Checkers there. 3 players responding from Hellraisers as well, pulling themselves over towards B. You've got Stico into CT, you've got 2 players on site. A little bit of a surprise probably, and if Angel gets the info through mid, that could mean this is all working out quite well for them. But now Lekro's maybe cottoned onto something. We'll find out if they actually go into this trap almost. This is Hellraisers setting down a nice piece, but they've read the game well here.
Yeah, Fnatic, they have definitely read the possibility of a force buy. Having this many AK-47s, we see a lot of UMPs with MP7s as well, the Max 10s, and a lot of utility. But instead, it's going to be a lot of AK-47s in play. And a slow approach towards the B bomb side. We have Zero here with SZZ just waiting at an angle. This short distance, it could actually work out great for Zero, but that pop flash is going to nullify any hopes for Zero. It's going to go down. It's going to be Fnatic in that B-bomb site.
And Fnatic dispersed after initially getting some good control towards B, and then Hellraisers, of course, were stacking it, so they kind of spread themselves out, played back into it, making Hellraisers back to, rotate back towards A, really playing it nicely here. So Fnatic, full control. Stico, though, still with some nice deagle work there. 2 kills for him already. And at this point, you've got armor, you've got upgraded pistols. You're not going to get much better coming into the next round anyway, so you might as well keep hold of this.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it, isn't it? They're going to be stacking the CT spawn area. Fnatic's going to exit towards that route. So they're going to try to force some kills there. But as we can see, Fnatic decides to go into B holes, go towards the T spawn. So Hellraiser's not going to get anything out of this.
So, good start for Fnatic. Better than their previous T side, or at least on par from what we saw on Cobble. 2 rounds now already. Kept the rifles, that's all you needed. Everyone else had the SMGs there, so not a massive loss coming out for Fnatic, really. They can still buy into this with the SMGs coming through if they want. Twist going back onto the rifle, and I can imagine Olaf probably going to go on the Mac 10 or just look for maybe a little more again. He's going to switch up and get the rifle for himself, give Lekro the SMG.
The first weapon round is going to be tricky for Hellraisers, though, because they're not going to have a lot of equipment to work with. They're not going to have Molotovs. So if they are, then they're lacking defuse kits, they're going to lack net armor, and if Lekro boosts that Mac 10, that could be all kinds of trouble. So that kind of tells you that Hellraisers probably are going to do something very aggressive in that first weapon round.
And Hellraisers are adamant to have this 3-man play towards middle. It's kind of a 1-3-1 approach. Bondik playing almost jump off, though, towards highway. So playing a little curious here. Again, could catch out players, could get that gun away. Twist takes a little bit of a leer down towards below him, but he knows that maybe that's not clear. Angel is still very much in this position. Zero just occasionally jiggle peeking towards that boost spot. But Angel's very much in a position of power. He could make something happen. But at this point, Fnatic just going to be bullying their way towards A quite easily here. Smoke onto the cross, molly out the corners. Nice play. That's all you want to be doing in this, making sure no one's waiting in those corners. We said it before, you can do a lot of work with those pistols, but Lekro with that Mach 10 already going to find Angel. That's a good start for him. He wants to be the man doing the work, but Twist goes down. Sticko, what on earth is this? What position was he in there to be able to do these 2 kills back to back? Lekro's keeping this one together pretty much here. And now we're down to a 1v3. Now, Sticko's already found 2. Lekro's low. Wenton's not in a brilliant position, but it's Olaf who's the problem. He's closing in from connector. Sticko's got a good feeling, and he lands it. That's big. And now it's a 1v2. He can do work in this. If he'd been able to recover a gun, that would have been phenomenal. He's not been able to do it. The flash is brilliantly timed. And Fnatic keep it in check. But what a costly round.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like it would be a very clean one, but
And they couldn't even recover the rifle.
Sticko doesn't agree. He got those 3 kills from with the Deagle. So we do have a bit of a disconnect here for Hellraisers. Hence a technical pause here. But yeah, I mean, definitely a lot more costly than you would have thought at the point where Fnatic was clearing that A bomb site, and well, there was not really anyone there from Hellraisers.
Unbelievable.
But Sticko did get those kills, and that's going to be some money wasted for Fnatic. Now, as we can see right now, for Hellraisers, a little bit limited on the utility side. They don't have any defuse kits. They only have 1 Molotov, 3 smokes, so that's going to make it a little bit harder for them to defend, but they have that op on Smike at least.
Yeah, they opted to drop out. Sticko, of course, being the man to give that one over just because he had so much money after that Deagle round. Very nicely done. However, Lekro wasn't able to recover the rifle as well. He was one of the 2 remaining players from Fnatic to stay alive. He had to sit on that Mach 10, didn't quite make it in time.
Oh.
And that's not how you want to use that one molly of yours.
Definitely not. But, you know, it happens to the best of us.
But I do like the way that they're at least trying to use Smike as a little bit of a spear point, trying to be a little aggressive with this AWP. He doesn't want to get pinched in here. That's the one problem. If they lose that mid control, he becomes very vulnerable. They do have 2 players watching it though. So again, looking for...
Oh, I think
did he see
saw
the leg?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Lovely. That's great stuff for Smike. That gives them a bit of a fighting chance in this round. It makes up for that real deficit of utility.
Yep. They forced up that first kill, and now here comes the connector smoke. And the Molotov for the white box, and Benson also gets the kill. It's going to be trades coming here, and it's going to be 3-on-3 situation now. And Dennis is going to try to get Sticko, who's in sandbags. And now it's just only going to be trades. It becomes a 2-on-2 all of a sudden.
And Zero's pushed up. He knows this won't be a B. This is nice. He's going to get the info here that they're not coming this way. Bondik, you know, prepare yourself for what's coming. And then Zero can slowly work around the back. He can buy a little bit of time. Bondik even actually has a flash as well, so he can easily flash off, you know, the vent there, buy a little bit of control if he can. It's all about feeling, all about that timing now. A little bit hesitant, maybe they worked up highway. That's his one real weakness here. Doesn't see it, 20 seconds. Got to make the assumption now where they're coming from. Gonna fall back a little bit, try and find the 1-to-1. Lovely correction towards Dennis, though. That brings it down to this 1v2. Huge advantage here for Hellraisers. Zero's en route. And really for Bondik, he just needs to play this smart, play to the time, give himself the opportunity to do so, and he does it very nicely. Massive work from Smike there initially as well.
Yeah, a great job from Bondik, closing that one out. Just nice aim, basically, coming down to it. In the end, getting the first kill, and then the second one as well. And that's going to be Hellraisers picking that one up. Fnatic, because of all those kills that Sticko got, now that means that they're not going to be able to rebuy into this. Instead, just upgrading some pistols and 2 guys with armor. Had those kills not happened, this would have been a full buy for Fnatic. And judging from the fact that Hellraisers only had to survive this round, or the previous one, they could have been in a lot of economic disparity. But that's how CS works sometimes, right?
Yep.
It's the little things that make a massive difference.
All right, so let's see what Fnatic do. Again, wouldn't be surprised if they try and hit that A site as much as they can, just kind of get that bomb plant. Nice little angle there from Dennis, just trying to find if there's anyone in MBK or maybe by quad or peeking from sight. Hellraisers aren't giving them that. And see, Bondik's just watching the angle where he can maybe just get the info more than anything. Needs to be careful he doesn't... Why did he stand there? There was still a chance they could run through. That was incredibly sloppy from Bondik after a brilliant round previously. And any loss here of weaponry is huge. Angel can't finish it because of the, well, limited amounts of ammo in the clip. And now look at it. Twist has caused a problem. This means the bomb can get planted. That's additional money now. A recovered rifle. And they've got armor.
Exactly. Now, this becomes very winnable for Fnatic, but as I say that, Sticko and Smike do get the kills as Fnatic members try to go a little bit aggressive, being down in numbers. In a 2-on-3 situation, you kind of want to force a kill to make it a 2-on-2 and make it much more viable. They don't manage to do that, and Hellraisers salvaged the round. But yeah, Bondik, not really sure if he dozed off there or something.
Just for a second, just, you know, a micro sleep or something, just sitting there. I don't know if he thought he was safe, if maybe someone was watching that, if he thought maybe someone was holding the angle, but still, that's the risk of that doesn't reap or evaluate towards the reward. There was no need to do it.
Yeah.
So now, Fnatic have a good buy coming into this. They've got, the AWP on Olafmeister. Didn't have a particularly brilliant spawn above anyone else, but he's going to take himself over towards B, so fancies his odds with that. And he's going to meet Smike, and Smike will have the angle first here.
Well, it seems like the default for Fnatic right now is Olaf working B and Lekro door, and now Smike, it's just going to push in and go down by Olaf's op. That's a great opening for Fnatic, and now that was a money date. Just going down 30 HP, and that might have been his mouse wheel bugging out.
Yeah, that's a mouse wheel jump if I've ever seen one. I hate it when it happens, and you can see it in players so often.
It is unfortunate, isn't it?
It is a shame.
2016, we still haven't invented a mouse wheel that works all the time. Go figure.
Yeah, who'd have thought it? All right, aggression going to come out now from the CT side to try and even the odds here. Doesn't find anything in main. That's information gathered enough as it is. That's decent. But Fnatic are playing very passive, almost predicting that Hellraisers would be looking for this. You can see Lekro's position there. Previously, he was sat all the way back up by Squeaky, just on top of the kind of, I guess it's almost the electrical box. You can just watch the angle through.
Yep.
So now, they've reset the pace. They still have the advantage, Fnatic. Smoke out towards mid. They've got players up on the boost. Angel's got to be passive. He has to respect this. You can't just swing out to it with no info. So he's going to pop flash and takes the angle. Doesn't spot anyone instantly. Forces Dennis off the angle. And runs this clock down. It's 39 seconds. Fnatic will need to make their minds up pretty soon. It does look like they're opting towards A. It could be a split-up highway as well. And now, time being of the essence, they need to make the move. The flash comes in. Angel very close to the box, though, will not be affected, but he gets the 1-for-1 trade without buy time. Enough for Bondic now to know the plan. He knows what's coming his way. Great deals put down. That's a bomb loose. 20 seconds. 2v2. There is still a chance here for Hellraisers to pull this one back in.
And there's going to be one in flank as well, coming to A main. So CTs are very much spread around, but that's going to be a trade of kills, and now it becomes a 1-on-1. I'm not sure if Lekro has any idea where Zero is. Oh, judging from the way he's aiming right now, he might have, but he's waiting Zero to come from the right side. Just waiting here behind quad boxes.
It's a matter of timing. Lekro doing okay so far. He's going to hear the jumps up towards the box. He doesn't expect it on top, though, and Zero gets the job done. And he does have enough time, and the AWP is nicely placed there, too. Zero with an incredibly risky play there, going on top of the red, jumping over and just taking the fight. You don't always win those.
No, definitely not. I'm Lekro doing a solid job all the way up until, well, he got killed, basically.
Yeah.
Just wasting a lot of time from the bomb. Wasn't enough. Diffuse comes in, and well, Fnatic is going to force into this because they know that money is not exactly a strong suit for Hellraisers right now, because a lot of these rounds have been quite close. It's true. There's almost a full investment here for Hellraisers as well, but they have an OP play. They have quite a bit of equipment. They have 4 diffuse kits too. On the other side, Fnatic, they have 1 UMP. The rest of the AK-47s, and so quite limited equipment, and Smike with the opening kill.
Oh, brilliant crossfire as well from Bondic there. He held that together. Smike was incredibly vulnerable from anyone pushing through Squeaky then, and he knew it. And Hellraiser just with a complete lockout here. Fnatic not getting a step through. They tried to do that kind of crisscross smoke to mid, try and keep their attention there, make that quick play towards A. Nothing happened, and just shut the door in his face. Quite literally, you're not going to make it out of there. Brilliant timing. And Hellraiser with an incredibly clean round.
Yeah, that was a classic kind of a round where you have 3 coming door and 1 main, and then 1 just being a flank, kind of a distraction. Guy in mid, and yeah, that push from door was just nullified by Bondic and Smike. Solid job from Hellraisers. And now this is going to be a safe here for Fnatic. Upgraded pistols, 4 guys with armor as well. We all know how dangerous these guys can be with the Eagles, so you never want to count them out. But this is a possibility for Hellraisers to try and stabilize their economy.
They need to make the most of that too, quite genuinely. You saw before Fnatic forcing to try and break it, so again, very, very close stuff still. No one massively taking that lead. It's 4-3, of course. But Hellraiser's starting to show some real power into these gun rounds. The first 3 were won by Fnatic, bearing in mind. You've got a player like Dennis. He wasn't the one who had the presence, but you often expect maybe Fnatic to pick up these kind of pistol rounds and have that sort of play. But speaking of Dennis, he doesn't have much of a step into this one. Already been found by Bondic, and Lekro showing some real prowess with that deagle already, however. Catching out Angel. And looking for more. Again, a little dangerous here. If you peek into that deagle, you can find a lot of issues, to say the least. However, now it's down to 2. Gun unrecoverable, really. Angel didn't die in a particularly easy area for them to pick up anything from. So now just looking for more chances with these deagles. Just trying to do what they can. As said, any damage is good. Bomb plant is brilliant, but again, a bit of a step towards the impossible at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be super tough in a 2-4 situation. And Hellraisers just, they gotta make sure that they don't lose men without a reason, at least. Because the economy is becoming a thing here. If they can pull off 4 people surviving this, they would build a little bit of a cushion. But Fnatic has different thoughts of this. Now, Olofmeister has picked up an M4, but he doesn't have an armor. But he's gonna get quite a free access here. Might spot one by Car, does stink him too. But because it's an M4, he doesn't get the kill.
Did as much as he could, in theory. That was all you could
Well, yeah.
achieve with the gun he had, which he recovered, which was... I'm surprised they even allowed Fnatic to get towards that too. He'd, recover that rifle that was lost, but the threat was neutralized. There was no problem there. And Hellraisers, again, build into these gun rounds. Starting to get that buffer too, they've got about 3k, maxing out about 5 on 0, so they've got that little bit of buffer. They can come back into these rounds if required. If they lose out on 1, gotta be careful there. Went into the spam through the, well, I guess middle, there's not even a door. Just spamming it out, like, what is that? But the big thing here is Smite tried to get aggressive. He tried to get a little bit cheeky there, and he gets punished. Lekro was expecting it. He's been playing through that sort of squeaky area, and I like Hellraisers trying to go for this aggression on the CT side. It's a good idea, it's a good way to play it. It just didn't work out that time.
Definitely didn't. Lekro picking that one up. Another default for Fnatic.
Nice molly.
And a very nice Molotov. Very
It was all
useful.
intentional.
Very intentional.
All intentional.
Yeah. He had calculated all the angles he needed to take to get that one working. Now here comes the push from Fnatic. They take over for Cliff, but Angel and Bondic still make work. Make it a 3-on-3 now.
And Zero's still not rotated off B. I'm not sure what kept him there so long. Maybe, Olaf was selling a bit of a kipper, but again, they're absolutely adamant there'll be some sort of presence there. Olaf's now watching the backward position too from main. You can see Went getting the bomb down that can be watched from that main sort of position. You got Lekro over by Forklift. So now the retake position. What do they really have to work with here? Not a great deal actually from Hellraisers. 1 nade, 1 flash, no real step towards the site. And I think Zero's realized that, and it might be time just to back away from this.
He had to. Had Stico get that. If he got a kill on A main, then it would have been viable. But now, 3-on-1, run Forest run.
And to be fair, again though, if Smite had maybe effectively got down Lekro at the start, that's the player who got the kill away, that could have changed a lot differently. These are the small defining points here. And I love this as an even factor, right? You looked at this on paper before this game, so I assume Zero won't be challenged here. There's such a small gap between even just the good and the great teams in CS, quite literally. You look at Fnatic, you look at the caliber of players they have, the difference a couple of weeks make of maybe a break, couple of lineup changes, it all comes a little bit closer. We're seeing a really competitive game between these two, and I think it's just credit to the top end of the scene, finding those small margins, and that makes the big difference. Those small victories here, there, and ever, the communication coming in, these sort of small factors sometimes that can really create those huge gulfs in skill. So, alrighty, back into this one, we've got Orbs on both sides. Twist this time going to be the man for Fnatic picking that one up, and Smike, your normal suspect on the other side. He does like his aggressive plays towards Checkers. Got to be careful though, that Molly's going to force him back. I don't know if the smoke's in the perfect position that he could actually escape from this, so again, he might be stuck here.
A lot more pressure here from Fnatic towards the B bomb site. They've sent Venton together with Olofmeister now towards his B, and
timing.
The timing might be key here. I think he knows there's a player to his right now, but Venton's still managing to surprise Smike, catching the Checkers right now. I think the idea might be to boost him up in the vent. Now Angel, he takes matters into his own hands. Pushes in the middle, he retaliates, gets a kill, but doesn't make it 2 as Lekro comes in and gets a trade. And now it's a 4-on-3. That is definitely going to favor that T side. Will seem to be gathering up towards the B bomb site. Only occupied by Zero right now. So this is going to be some heroics needed from Zero here.
Yeah, he's seen the smokes coming out. He knows what's coming his way, and he has nothing to fend this off. He has no flashes, he has no anything really. It's just him and the gun now. Sticko's fed himself towards Dennis. Easily picked up. Zero now overwhelmed, outnumbered, can't do it. Went and shuts down Bondic, and Fnatic break back into it. With really was, again, a little bit of a gifted start. Smite goes for the aggression, gets denied, and the push comes in off the back.
Yeah, it felt like he had an idea that Venton was on his right.
Didn't he?
Yeah, might have had that idea too, but just couldn't connect with that fast flick he tried on Venton. He gets the kill. Then the other one, second kill also goes the way of Fnatic, and well, that's pretty much it. Angel tries to do some stuff in mid, but he cannot make it 2-for-1. So it becomes an advantage for Fnatic, and now as you can see, money is an issue for Hellraisers. They're saving. Stico with a bit of jumping here. His way actually tried to go to boost by his own. Well, now instead he was dueling not with Twist, and it's down to 16 HP.
Boost comes out. Fnatic incredibly cautious here. Look at these positions across the board. Again, just you've got to be. You don't know if they're going to push out. You've seen aggression from Hellraisers. They're known for it as well on their CT sides. So you've got to be respectful of it. You've got to play to it, even if you feel as though individually we're superior, we can take the fight. Still, a couple of seconds. Den's got himself incredibly isolated. I don't know what he's doing there. I don't know who it was on Boost. I'm not sure if that was Wenton or... I think it was Wenton. Wasn't there to trade effectively. Twist is there as well. I don't know. A little bit of miscommunication. Gave away a possible gun there. But, again, you've got players waiting now. They've traded off the back of it. They brought it back to this kind of 4v4. Olofmeister been kind of testing the waters by B. And now Fnatic, if you do a mid to B, you're running into all the remaining Hellraisers players, basically.
Oh, Stico and Zero both are down. Eat HP as well. And they are the two guys here towards the mid, but it seems like Fnatic is just going to be running on A. They realize it's going to be empty. And Olaf with a kill. There's going to be two more by car. One of them goes down. Well, they pretty much all go down. It's all down to Bondic with a deagle. And maybe even a dream. Trying to make it work. Getting even one more kill would be a added bonus to this round for them.
Not sure if he's going to get much of that. Very much pinned in here. Take a bit of a nutty shot. Not going to get it. Olofmeister waits ever so patiently, gets himself 3 as well, and Fnatic break back in. Is this 3 in a row now or 4? I think it's 3 back to back.
3 in a row.
Yeah. So they've finally broken it. Now, a lot of that was gifted for the back of being able to punish those initial kind of trades there. Now, I'm wondering if Hellraisers come back in and just go, all right, let's not be so aggressive at the start. Let's find a different way. They don't even have the AWP anymore, so again, they'll have a different approach. Yeah,
let's see what they do. Usually if you're 5 and 4, so what you do is you send 3 towards mid or 2 mid and one in the vents. See what the approach is here from Hellraisers. It seems like they're going to be playing 2 mid, 1 by vent, 1 is white box, 1 on A, and 2 towards B.
Yeah, there has been a lot of late boosts coming out. You can see Angel kind of playing today. He's not sure if anyone's actually already boosted up because you can kind of crouch down, put your head down, and here comes that late boost, and oh, he just looks away. This is disastrous timing, and there's nothing you can say against it. He gets overcautious. He kind of thinks out of what he was doing already. If he just held that angle, maybe someone else had smoked that spot, he could have done something with this, but he can still adjust. No one's punished yet.
Problem is, with his positioning, that there's no one that can punish any of the Fnatic members. There's no trade possibilities.
God, run, Angel, please don't do this. There we go. And no real reasoning of his own there either. What is going on?
Same with Stico as well. I mean, now he's only just taking that duel by his own. Angel runs away, so there's no possibility for a trade at all. It becomes a 4-on-4 situation, and that always makes things a lot easier for the T side.
Well, there we go. There's the evener. Angel just, positioning wasn't prime at the start, made some questionable choices in mid, but still pulls it back. Just CSGO things. And now we see the possibility of that B play. You can have players like Wenton catching the rotate, denying the vent access. Dennis going to bait out for him, allow Wenton to get close, and there's the closer. Wenton just shuts out Angel. Now, though, we're down to 2 against 3. So Fnatic still have to find the best route possible. Where do they choose? How can they do this one? 25 seconds, they're limited on time. Now, Zero's gone walkabouts, as is Bondic. They're starting to work out where these players currently aren't, so they can work out where they are, pretty much.
Yeah, 15 seconds. They gotta start running soon, and Smike is in perfect position right now to stop this push coming in. He can now hear the 2. He's coming in the hazard angle. He's made a lot of damage into the second guy as well. Dennis might be able to get the plant. I think he has time. He does, but that's all sheer roads. It's gonna go down by 0. He's gonna wait for an op getting picked up, maybe? No. There was no ops in play, were they? No. So it's just an AK-47.
Do you want another AK, maybe?
Yeah. Well, something along those lines.
Just scooping up the utility, looking around like, there's a free flash.
Going for a loot.
Yeah, you can't... Look, Legion's come out, people are back into it, all right.
There was an op.
There was. Who was on that early? I think.
Must have been Olaf.
Yeah. I missed that one, fair enough. All right, that's a lovely bit of a bonus, fair play. Can't really question on that. I didn't see that one. Okay, so coming back into this 6-6. Look, my eyes aren't what they were. I'm getting old.
We're all getting old there.
Yeah, that's true.
We're not getting younger, that's for sure.
All right, so Fnatic have a decent buy into this one. They have pretty much everything you'd want. They have all the mollies. They have a nice AWP there as well on Olofmeister. Yeah, you've got the whole picture now. So, what do Hellraisers do to try and turn that? Is it going to be a boost, maybe? It looks like it. So, again, you can leave maybe one player here, play a little bit more attentively towards mid if they fancy it, try and hinder that late boost. But actually, it looks like Fnatic aren't going to be setting up for an ace. So this could be really nicely timed, actually. Bondic going to re-smoke out main. They went a little bit too deep there. No, it's just fine, but the smoke's going to come in, and let's see what Angel does with this. It's about that trigger discipline. It's about how he chooses to fight it out. And they don't know he's up there. They've got a good idea, but now the crossfire's coming to play, and it's paid out perfectly off the back of that boost. Now, Lekro snuck through, but it doesn't really matter. He's been found around as well, and lovely timing on that boost to come out.
Again, one member, just like on Cobblestone, managing
God,
to single-handedly stop push for Fnatic. You can actually, you can spam that spot with the Deagle, by the way.
You can spam it with everything. It's
No, actually you can't. Op and Eagle.
Really?
Yeah, AK doesn't go through the wall.
What?
Yep, tried it.
The AK doesn't go through, but the Deagle does?
Yep.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
CSGO things. Just CSGO things.
I'm not even going to question it. You know, this is it. It's like, does that make sense? No, but it's CSGO, so cool. All right. I actually didn't know that. That's really depressing.
Yeah, tried it. Used it in a game. We had 2 guys go spam because we heard it was boosted.
You just spammed out with
Yeah,
it?
me and my teammate. We spammed it, and my teammate got an assist from... Yeah.
All right, let's move on from things that make me feel sad. Sticko, they're going to find Olofmeister trying to creep in towards B. Limited success there for Olofmeister. He's been playing a little bit of a 50-50 almost in that one. Not quite to the successful highs of your likes of, I guess, Get Right doing that sort of thing. Now it's Unleashed Sticko. He can really reign in dominance through that vent sort of position. Spots out the other player. Now you can see already the sun play in towards it. A little bit dangerous there. Could have gone a little bit worse, but they keep the numbers. They keep the round in check. And Hellraisers, again, not going to let this slip away. They keep this one incredibly competitive. I was a little bit worried when I saw the pistol coming in, and then, you know, it was like, all right, Fnatic, they're back on, you know, their map pool. But this is actually a nice game to watch here. This is very competitive so far.
It's been very streaky, too.
Yeah.
First 3 going away with Fnatic, and then we have 5 for Hellraisers, then 3 for Fnatic, now 3 for Hellraisers. Let's see who gets the last one here. Fnatic with a very limited buy. There's 1 AK and then just a bunch of pistols. They do have some utility to work with, but still, it's going to be tough. Now, 4 guys going towards B, but Smike, the very aggressive positioning.
Tagged Olofmeister as well. He's going to molly him back away. That's bought him time. Now, the second molly, I think, actually got extinguished as well by the fire, so a little bit maybe overzealous on that one, but when you're being rushed down by a lot of players, you know, I'll let you get away with that. But Zero and Smike now going to hunker down. They're going to just batter that, you know, get themselves locked in on this side, because they know what's coming their way, and it's going to be a pouring of players. And nice work from Smike, just timing out the smoke, spamming it away. He's got Zero beside him. Why not go for it? Almost got caught out there by Lekro, but keeps it in check, and it's Zero playing that lovely position with him. Even Wenton in the 1v5. And a talented man he may be, but this is that one step too far. And actually, a very nice side there from Hellraisers in the end. I thought maybe that was going to be a bit of a, you know, a bit of a runaway, let's be honest. I thought it was going to be a little bit questionable. But they recovered. They got into the gun rounds. They started to look competitive. Swings and roundabouts came back and forth, but actually a nice game to watch now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, again, it kind of felt to me like in a bunch of the rounds where Fnatic was trying to commit to the bomb site, that they were just for, like, they didn't have the final punch. There was always just one member being able to nullify a lot of it.
Which is weird, because normally Fnatic have that really kind of like, you know, together play. Everyone goes in communication back to back, trading so well.
Yep.
Wasn't quite the case. So again, a very competitive half coming out from Hellraisers. They are certainly putting Fnatic through their paces. So guys, stay tuned, and let's find out how this one ends. So welcome back, and I hate to say it, but this might be a bit of an upset here today. If it goes the way we've seen so far, at least, there's a possibility Hellraisers could take down Fnatic. However, we saw the disparity on halves in the first map. From T to CT, certain teams, let's say, dropped the ball, some didn't. And Fnatic actually looked pretty good on their CT side on Cobble.
Yeah.
And now they have the opportunity here to display that again. Now, Cash is a bit of a different beast, of course, but what can we read into it so far?
I think it still, on CT side, would work quite well for Fnatic. It would complement the kind of weaponry they have with the individuals on the team. They have double op. They know when to play aggressive. They know how to play aggressive. So it's going to be, I think they should be fine.
They should be. We'll see. We'll see. No, it should absolutely be fine for them in theory. If you looked at Cobble, how it kind of went down in the end, their T side was lacking a little bit of that, I guess, the execution, you know, the kind of things that make it, wow. Wow. Was that Kappa Pride I saw right there? Like, I know you guys are missing Henry and Map. They'll be up next, don't worry. You don't need to just draw Kappa Pride all over the maps. God. When I'm getting flamed by our observer Rush, you know there's something going on.
No, but yeah, I mean...
Oh, Christ, I was so worried about what you were drawing then. Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Rush, stop it. Stop it. Take it away
It's
from
a live
him.
broadcast. Rush, gotta remember.
It's still borderline family show, all right? I know that's been kind of disputable recently, but, you know, let's bring it back in a bit here, guys, because I just got a little bit nervous. Henry got a little excited, as did Matt. But, yeah, we're waiting on the final play from Fnatic to join us again. But, yeah, let's kind of discuss this as well, because it feels very different at different levels here, because you'd argue in, let's say, lesser seeds, because this is obviously the top tier. You could argue maybe Hellraisers don't quite fill that, but, you know, the higher echelons of CSGO. Now, in the lower side of things, you'd argue that T side, you generally see more individual performance shining. You see certain players having these big plays. You can get, you know, that hard carry on T side. That doesn't really necessarily work in higher tier games, does it?
No, but you gotta always have to remember the fact that it takes quite a bit of time to, because they obviously want to renew a little bit. They're going to try to have to find new ways of playing, and they have a new coach in play. So they're kind of stuck having to play official games and using these for practice too. So a lot of these things they do are still in work in progress. So you're gonna see this situation if they do a certain thing in a specific round that might break their economy or put them in a very non-advantageous situation. Then it gets really tricky. But I think the one trend we saw so far is that a lot of the time that punch of when they attack the site seemed to be missing. Because always it was one member from HR that managed to do so much damage. But we are live here now. And that's the second pistol round. And one set of nades for Hellraisers to work with. And it seems like they might be going towards that A bomb site.
Christ, and you go towards the turret himself. you got to pick your poison, I guess, at this point. But on a pistol round, I know where I don't want to go towards, and it's that man himself. It's not him to get the frag so far. It's actually went and watching the cross, and he's made an absolute meal of it. That's great. That just makes me incredibly happy to see. So now the bomb's going to go down. That means that at least the site is in control here for Hellraisers. But look how quickly Fnatic are saddling up for this one. They want to get back in on this. They want to get that retake going as quick as possible, and it works out well. That's a safe path for them. They can defuse that if they want to. It's not a brilliant position for these guys to be playing back into it. Sticker's trying to hold his own, keep that little bit of an ace up his sleeve. And well, the sleeve gets ripped off, and Fnatic see it all. So the defuse will come out, and they get the first one on the board. Yeah,
you would have thought that Hellraisers was in a very good position to win that one because they had the number advantage, but they had to plant in the default position, so it meant that the guy in A main had to play way more aggressive, and the two CTs managed to get into the bomb site a little bit too easily, and then getting the first two initial kills on the retake, making things harder for Hellraisers. So in the end, it's going to be Fnatic picking up. Also, I think they won the first pistol round too, so it's going to be 2 out of 2. And I think quite often, the team that wins 2 pistol rounds should be winning these maps.
You get so much of a buffer, of course. The rounds off the back, you should be picking this one up, especially with Hellraisers actually coming to this on the eco, almost completely clean. You have one upgraded pistol on 0, and that is it. Everyone else just on the Glocks. Again, looking for the best they can achieve here, which is probably a bomb plant. You're not going to win these rounds, really. You shouldn't ever. I say never because you shouldn't, but I've seen stranger things happen in CS before. Don't get me wrong, but it's just something that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I like the little thing we saw last night from VP, where they used the decoys.
Oh, when they went up towards
fake
the plant,
smokes, just to get the bomb plant, and the Penta took that bait. They fell back and played passively on A, and Hellraisers got the bomb plant, a little bit more money in the coming round. But now Dennis has taken a very aggressive stance here on A main. Gets 1 kill.
How is he still alive?
I don't know. Smike with 1 HP survives. and gets a FAMAS, but I don't think he's going to get a lot more out of it.
I don't know. You know, I've seen Smike hit loads of these shots on 1 HP. It happens all the time. No. he's trying to hide the gun at least, which is quite... I think he's trying to put it up on maybe the truck and it just kind of like fell. But it does mean that Twist can't really recover it, which is a nice little bit of, like, a little bit of a, I guess, nuance that most people maybe wouldn't see. It's just quite a nice little addition. It means they have to reinvest.
Yeah, exactly. They do. And now you can see Twist buys an op for Dennis. And AK-47s for Hellraisers, though they do buy into this round number 3 of the second half. Yeah, quite a bit of utility to work with it as well. That's including 1 Molotov, so a lot of opportunities for them to be had.
Oh, my word, Lecro. Ouch. 37 and then 25. Just a little tap on the back at the end. It's
so
like,
annoying.
How bad can it get? That's certainly a very bad way to start off. And considering Twist is already having to play with the SMG still, he was the one who could have maybe supplemented it with that FAMAS that was dropped. No, didn't get hold of it. So again, Hellraisers do have some advantage in weaponry. Of course, the AWP can counterbalance a little if Dennis can get some play. However, he's just playing by kind of quad MBK. He's sitting back quite passively. Most of the sort of CT aggression, I guess, if anything, is Olofmeister right now.
Yeah, and Hellraisers is just waiting for any potential pushes to come in. They have 1 playing door, 1 B garage, and the rest are just waiting in middle and A main for things to happen. Now, they still do have a full set of smokes, so I could do any kind of a shred at this point. But it seems more than likely that they were going to be hitting this A bomb site. Dennis, though, he's going to get a freebie on an Angel. I'm not really sure why he would do that.
Oh my god.
I want to take that peek. Molotov is going to stop Bondic, and there's 1 by forklift already from Hellraisers. Stiko also managed to get a kill.
This is where we might see the issue being that Twist only has that SMG, the MP9. Far from ideal, but Stiko is low, so he's going to get the chance to use it and use it well. Des has been trying to play quite passively. There's the problem, he couldn't follow up. Now the site is in the hands of Hellraisers, and look on the flank, it's 0 all the way around the back. Olofmeister will be caught by this. You've got to land the shot cleanly, and he does. Now Lekro's in that dire situation. He was the one who got tagged up earlier on at the start of the round, and he's suddenly going, I've got 25 HP and a 1v3 to pull off. That's not going to happen. Hellraisers, after actually losing out on the first player then, make the most of it going A.
Yeah, the 2 after him managed to make their way to the forklift, and they made the opening kills. They managed to get on the site, they got the Opper, and then the Twist, who was on the site with that SMG. And that was pretty much the bomb side open. Nothing too fancy from Hellraisers. I mean, that was very straightforward, just trying to run in there. I think Angel might have been trying to throw the highway smoke, but got caught off by Dennis. And now, as we can see, Fnatic's money is in the blender. They'll have to save.
And I love the fact that one small thing, you know, the T-side Hellraisers actually moving that gun away, hiding it, meant the player on A then only had the SMG, made the hit work. It may not be the biggest defining factor, it could have swung it either way. But I love the fact that something as small as that little bit of diligence, echoes into the next couple of rounds. Now you're going to see the big advantage here for Hellraisers. So they're up 10-8. They should be coming out of this round nice and cleanly. Again, you don't expect too much damage. Still a threat, but you want to keep it as clean as possible. And Hellraisers, this default so far is working nicely, but the problem is, if they go towards B, there is 3 players here. You've got Lekro on site, Olofmeister here, and Twist as well.
And it seems like Olof is going to be the aggressor, but doesn't get anything out of it. Now, there's 2 more here on this B-bomb side, but they keep going down, and Molotov does a ton of damage onto Lekro as well, who gets 1 dig, though, for a D kill. Let's hope that Benson is going to try to get some extra kills here. Just waiting for an opportunity here towards the lower entrance in B, but I don't think there's too much that he can do at this point.
No, I think it's a bit of a sealed deal, but again, Bonnie's a little low, Stiko looks a little vulnerable. He could maybe get some more guns away. Maybe he can do a little bit more work, but I don't think anyone's going to be exiting in this area anyway. No one really wants to go towards it. They have no need to hunt him down. He doesn't have anything else to play with. So Hellraisers just back off of this one.
And then, like, it doesn't really matter if you go to B, and even if there's 3 guys there, when you use your grenades effectively. That was a good example of when you Molotov the bomb site properly, you make it super uncomfortable for the players playing that bomb site. Of course, all of pushing in and just dying before the actual push came in helped.
Certainly helps.
Only 2 members of Fnatic being on that B bomb site, but still using grenades effectively.
Well, this is the thing.
Is a key part of it.
It was one of the big things that Envy was incredibly known for, was their where they play anti-ecos on their T side. They'd go towards B, they molly out every single corner. The nades were on point. They'd consistently collect it.
They had this strat where they would, I think, like 4 nades and checkers.
Yep.
And then just run, they would smoke lower and then the small site as they ran in.
Incredibly hard to play
Now,
against.
M4s on the board for Fnatic. They didn't have money for AWP.
Ooh, was that Winton in there?
And money is still quite tight for Fnatic, in fact. They don't have any defuse kits either.
I don't think they've heard the boost either, so you should kind of check it, I guess, at this point. To some degree, spam it out, do something if you can. You got an AWP on there, you can work around it. You can see Angel's kind of trying to peek towards it, being a little cautious. You already checked to see if there was that kind of one-way smoke boost-ish. You can see on the boxes in A main. If you sneak your way through, he was already looking towards that. Didn't see much. And it looks like a very heavily postured A hit so far from Hellraisers, not particularly keeping much up their sleeves here. However, plenty of time to work with. Bondic already having a look through Squeaky, not seeing too much, however. No one really playing over by Forklift, so gonna molly that out, see if anyone appears. Nothing yet, and Dennis is holding back here. He actually takes the peek in. The flash is perfect and well-timed. Angel peeks out at a brilliant time off the back of it. Wenton tries to recover, but now takes a great deal of damage off the back of it too. Olaf tries to pull himself from the site. The flashes are primed here. Sticko spamming out on the cross as well. The re-smoke goes down, and now Bondic can unleash on the side. He does exactly that. 2 kills back-to-back, and Fnatic are floundering here. This is just good default hits almost from Hellraisers. These A hits aren't anything particularly new or fancy, but they're working very well. And Smike there, just to seal the deal.
Yeah, well, a massive issue was the fact that Dennis died so early before anything really happened on that push. Like, he needed to be a little bit more patient, just stay in that corner, just wait for the actual push to come in. But he got a little greedy. He tried to take an angle, tried to go for a fight before he really needed to. And then the rest of Hellraisers just disposing of Fnatic, just coming in with brute force into the bomb site. And yeah, just a nice shot. And now this looks like Hellraisers is going to be sitting at 13 before Fnatic can get any weaponry out. And still, I mean, Lecro sitting at 1.8k, for example, and not sitting pretty with money.
No, this is, this might be flashbacks to first map, considering, you have an advantage over Fnatic, you pull it back in, and then overtime becomes a problem. But so far, looking decent. I don't want to start seeing Hellraisers praise just yet, because Fnatic, you know what they're like. You've seen it so often in the past. But for now, Hellraisers have a great approach to this. They're doing what they need to. They're playing it well. Wenton can do some damage here, though. He's in a nice little spot. They should be checking it at this point. No one's been watching A main consistently, so it should be something on that checklist. And there it is. Zero catches him quite comfortably. And now most of the threats have been removed already. Lecro being so low, one of the players with the upgraded pistol. Olaf Meister not quite in a position to affect much. Hellraisers have a free bomb site here.
Yeah, they want to do. You can just waltz your way towards that A bomb site, and while Sticko gets Dennis into progress, and that's going to be even a more empty A bomb site now. There's one more guy there. Twist makes his way to car, and look, this time ATAR is just taking their sweet time going to the bomb site, taking no risks whatsoever. And now they realize it's going to be that empty bomb site waiting for them.
Yeah, they opted not to even smoke the cross, just looking maybe for the fights themselves, just wanting to make sure no one can sneak through, or any threats or this sort of thing, just taking the straight fights.
There's two sides to that story, really. I mean, I kind of prefer the one where you just smoke off the crucial parts and then Molotov the MBG corner, back behind forklift, behind quad, and one by the box in the bomb site, and then you just see what happens. Just wait for the cockroaches to get flushed out of the corners.
Yep.
But they opted to go for the dry version where you don't throw anything.
And
it works out when they don't have any deagles.
Yeah,
they don't want
true.
DU.
See, that's always the danger. Is like if they got one player at truck has a deagle or one person on highway, it can get a little bit worrying. Oh, is this a set piece from Hellraisers? Oh, okay, this could be nice. Got Sticko and Smike setting up some smokes. We've got a lot of mollies. This could be what you wanted to see almost. That molly out a lot of the positions, play to it. But Fnatic are playing almost away from the site completely. No one's in the site.
Yeah.
This is a complete posture for a retake. So Hellraisers are going to get the plant. That should be pretty much a done thing. That's not going to be questioned.
And now double offs for Fnatic as well, so that's going to make that retake even harder.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
They do have some utility to work with, and no Molotovs anymore. They have only one kid on Twist. That could be problematic.
This could be a huge problem. There's still 3 mollies on the T side as well. They can buy time on that plant. They can deny it for so long. Going to use one towards highway, stop that approach. Smike doesn't hit the shot towards truck, and now his position's noted. Olaf Meister will not miss that. He punishes those sort of mistakes. But there's still so many players to go through here for Fnatic. It's going to be running an obstacle course, and the obstacle course has guns at the moment. That's Sticko getting 3 brilliant kills back-to-back for him, just turreting around, and there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Olaf goes down.
That's why, like you said, so much utility for Hellraisers. That made the massive difference. Even when it became a 4-on-5 in Fnatic's advantage, as the actual push came in to retake the bomb site, that magical pop flash blinded everyone. Stico gets 3 kills. It's all down to Olofmeister at that point. He tries to go away. And now it's going to be 2 MPs, 3 FAMASs for Fnatic. And Hellraisers are very close from closing out this map number 2.
Yeah, this is very good stuff from Hellraisers. I've liked the way they're playing. It's nothing too flashy, nothing, it's not going to change the world, but it's getting them rounds and it's getting them in a huge position over Fnatic. No one predicted this at the start of this game, even after Cobble being close. It was like, that was Cobble, that was just Cobble. That was a different beast altogether. Cash is a different, different game, different time. Don't worry about it. And actually, Hellraisers have turned up here. It's, I don't want to take anything away from them. Obviously, Fnatic are certainly not operating on 100% by the looks of it. They look a little bit worse for wear at the moment, but credit where it's due. It's Hellraisers taking the lead at this point. Now, again, wondering where they take this one.
And it's the question right now. It seems like Hellraisers is going for another default round here. Just one by Door, and actually the rest of his team are making their way towards a bomb site. And well, the bomb is in A main, and they still have all the utility needed. 2 members from Fnatic, though, are playing A, and they have a 3rd guy on Highway. So they do have quite a good system right now to hold off this attack.
Does it make the difference? Does it change how this round plays out? Previously, they've been leaving A pretty open, playing on those retakes. It hasn't worked. Now, they've gone back in with a switch-up. They've gone for a difference here, but the delayed approach from Hellraisers is causing issues. They're not fully committed just yet. Now they will. Now they go for it. A complete whip from Twist. He had a chance. He sprayed in that UMP. Did not do the job. It was not what he needed there. And now Dennis, though, can stop this before it starts, but he only gets 2. That's still pretty decent considering. And he's left it up in the air. Now 2v2. This is where you see Fnatic do these sort of rounds where it gets a little bit sloppy. They feed in 1-to-1 here. And Hellraisers, what are you doing, Smike? Just leaping up in the box, trying to make something happen in the last 10 seconds. Now Zero's left in an almost impossible situation. With time like this against him, it's not going to work out. And of course, Fnatic pick up that round.
I'm lost for words, Lauren. What's going on here? They had everything going for them, but then they just, in the end, just run 1 by 1 onto all of them. You're like, come on, show some respect. It's one of those things. I mean, it's hard to explain, but happens sometimes to the best of us, where players just kind of lose their minds. They forget about the whole aspect of, oh yeah, we're supposed to be playing as a team.
Trying to go trading.
You kind of want to just close out the round because you're so close from winning, especially when you're the underdog. That's what happens a lot of the time. That being a prime example of what I just said. Now, money still, Hellraisers has it. They have a full buy, full set of everything. An op in play as well for Smike. But this does give another lifeline for Fnatic, though, and you definitely don't want to give those to Fnatic.
Yeah, how many times do you see it with Fnatic as well? They're the team that don't let those opportunities go to waste. If teams make mistakes like that against them, even if it's just the fundamentals, trading well, going as a team, having that real kind of power back to hit those sites as a collective. If you don't do it, Fnatic will say, they'll be like, thank you, that's great. Me as an individual, I will absolutely flourish in this. So again, you can't do that sort of thing. It will be exploited. Now Fnatic, again though, have to come back into this and keep that sort of mentality. Hellraisers looking like they want to switch something up here, and Wenton gets plucked out of the air. Stico hits a bit of a blinder, and now already Hellraisers with that 1-man advantage, huge on the T side, gonna split up those CTs.
Yeah, they have the mid control right now, and that's gonna be the reaction for Fnatic. Not really all too much, actually. They are leaving that A bomb site quite wide open right now. Only occupied by Dennis right now. Just by the toxic barrels, but the attack is coming towards the B bomb site. Lekro in a world of trouble.
He has put a bit of time at least. That smoke, that molly, gives him a couple of seconds, allows the rest to come through, but Zero expects it. Pre-aims towards upper, and Olofmeister goes down. Now Lekro's still staying alive somehow. In a decent position, but can't hit the shot. Allowing Stico through means that now the cross has happened. The bomb's on the site. And you've already got Zero watching the back. Bondic's gonna plant, and Stico's holding this. Yeah. It's not impossible though for Fnatic, but it's
very unlikely.
Very, very unlikely. This needs something, only Fnatic can do sort of jobs. And now it's looking less likely. Dennis gets spotted. Pop flash out. Both players pop flashing their way out of this, and Dennis is gonna run, as is Twist.
Let me spoil it to ya. It ain't happening. It is Dunzy. There we go. Twist and Dennis are going to be saving it, and that B hit is successful. Like you said, Lekro did a good job there, holding off the attack for quite a bit of time with that smoke in next to the ramp, and then a Molotov as well. But just not able to make kills happen, and eventually to lose the bomb site. And that's, well, all started off of that nice headshot onto Vincent in middle. Mid-take from Hellraisers is working out great. And as you can see, money definitely not great for Fnatic. They have an op in play, obviously, from that previous round, and Dennis drops an EOP. So That's going to be quite the jumbo sale here.
I'm actually nervous for Hellraisers in a way. I'm like, you know, these are the rounds that
Yeah.
Fnatic win. These
are the rounds that Hellraisers would lose. Or
Exactly.
This is the kind of rounds where the underdog, who's very close to winning,
gets nervous,
normally,
makes mistakes.
Yeah. But, well,
So far they haven't.
well, they have once.
Once, true.
They did once.
Very true.
So.
And they're going A again. It's all piling up. No, it's still very much possible.
An A hit coming in. Bouncing off that flash and comes in. Bondage just great bossing on his own, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Fnatic. Makes it a 4-on-3. Now Dennis with a pop flash kind of blinds himself as well. That smoke is going to buy him some time. He's going to make his way towards the door. And what are this place? You know, they're super aggressive, and they don't get punished for them. Instead, he somehow gets the kill on the smite. And
There's no one to B though, and Zero can hold the rotate.
yeah, but do they realize it's free?
You can't assume it, but you've got 50 seconds left. There's a smoke up on highway, so they can't see the players on A. But I don't know what they plan to do on the A side together. Zero's got room to work, but he's going to be spread out by Olaf. That means game's over pretty much. That's done. That's the round that should have been the closer, now lost. You open up again that small window of opportunity that Fnatic normally just burst through. But their money's still not great.
Yeah. But was that the opening of the floodgates?
Oh god, don't.
That's the
See,
that's
this
the
is
question.
The thing, though. We ask this and we say this every time. It's like, it's Fnatic, though. You know, it can happen. And you sit there going, no way. You know, Hellraisers, they'll be fine. Nope, absolutely not. It happens again. They get absolutely destroyed by Dennis. Then
Still plenty of money for HR though. They can fully invest into this. Up for AKs. Now fast mid take coming in. And Twist decides just to fall back. Instead, it's actually not going to be just Angel here in middle. The rest are making their way towards a main. Bomb is still down though in mid. Oh, he does have a teammate there, so might be still some ace up their sleeve.
okay, so Fnatic have given up mid control pretty much. No one's really stayed out there to watch this, but okay, that could be a big difference now. Olaf wants to push down B, trying to get the info around the back. He was, he'd been having good play towards it, but he got already found. He got found by Zero, so that's going to make them maybe think twice about this. Do we actually go back to B? Do we commit here? We've got a good step towards A, and they're going to go for it. Now Dennis becomes the problem. He's been a consistent factor of turning these rounds around, and again, comes up with the goods through the squeaky door, and now it's a 4v3 in favor to Fnatic. They had the advantage to begin with, and now they've just dropped it on its head. Bondic's telling Zero, get to B. We might have a shot at here. Now we don't. Twist was playing from quad. He finds Bondic in mid, and now you've got Zero on the run. He's got nothing to play out of this one as well.
Yeah, Dead is single-handedly just keeping Fnatic in this game so far. In the previous run, and so in this one as well. And Lecro with the last kill. And Fnatic still somehow keep themselves in this game. And now, well, Hellraisers' money actually is it's not great. They'll probably upgrade some pistols, but that's all there is to it. And that's going to be Fnatic then 3 away from making it a tie.
How many times do you see this possibly happen?
Well,
I don't know. This is one of those things that does happen. It does occur. But 15-11, Hellraisers should be able to close. There's no two ways about it. You should be able to close this out, considering what the T side's been like so far. But again, these issues, these errors that are coming in, is this nerfs?
Not a great fan of strategies where you kind of like the one we saw in I think it was 15-9 at that point a couple of rounds ago, where Bondic was in door, he popped flash one off the wall and then opened the door and just ran into the bomb site alone. Not really a great fan of that when you're playing against potential force buys. You want to team up, you want to play together. Try to trade some kills like this. Angel gets one, and that's going to be the A-bomb side open. But the problem is that the bomb is in kind of no man's land. I think they can pick it up, though. They did. So at least they'll get a bomb plant, and now Zero is on the flank, but they know he is. What? He's still going to make a lot of damage. Olaf is down to 16 HP.
That was pretty good considering. You don't normally get away with that. Wenton's not going to let this one slip any further. Good play from Highway, not overcommitting just yet. You can see the Hellraisers kind of hit the brakes on the plant, slowed it down.
That's weird, though. You want to make sure you get the plant.
I don't know why they kind of slowed it down this much. They had the bomb. I don't know if they were worried that someone could see the cross towards it. No, I have no idea. Maybe hoping that Fnatic would get complacent, push into it, get some more guns away. Not going to be the case, not going to be the factor. They could have been waiting on, was it Zero going around the back as well, trying to make something out of that. So, small possibilities, and now 12 to 15.
Well, Let's see what Hellraisers have up their sleeves right now. Because they've had some nice set pieces, for example, that have worked out great. They've been able to take over middle. Actually, they've been, they've done a lot of opportunities have been there for them. They've just not been able to close the rounds right now. It's been a lot about Dennis. He's done a lot of crucial kills here. Let's see if that continues. It seems like it's going to be another default round for Hellraisers.
We said it before, we didn't like the kind of individual aspect that came with Bondic on occasion. That pop flash we just ran out against, what could possibly be a force up, or who knows what Fnatic were playing with in that sort of round. So again, let's see if they can really combine, come together as a collective here, make that play as a team. Checking towards boost, didn't see anything there. So I think you can make the assumption to some small degree, it's kind of clear. You don't really maybe see their feet, you see it on the radar, you can kind of get a little bit of a glimpse towards it. There hasn't been particularly many smokes in towards main either, so very few chances, and that smoke doesn't quite go right. Again, however, this is going to be run down quite low. They have 3 mollies to clear some of these corners with. Wendon could be in trouble because of that. He could be forced out of playing by this very position. So you got to be careful, got to time it right. This is all hanging on a very, very thin knife edge at this point. Smokes come in, Wendon sees nothing. He knows they're not making the play just yet. He needs to stay cool, calm, under this pressure and wait it out.
It seems like Hellraisers are just not even committed to this A bomb. They're going to be boosting in middle, I think. No, they actually choose to go in the middle now. Well, it's just 0, and then towards the A bomb side now with 20 seconds left. Time is becoming a factor. They still do have 1 smoke to play with, but they have actually no real estate to work with, and there's going to be 3 Fnatic members on this site. They're just going to go down 1 by 1 before Bondi gets a trade, but that's all there is to it, really. It's only Angel now. By the connector, gets a kill, makes it 2, but just 1 second on the clock. It runs out, and just undecisiveness. Like right now, it seems hesitation is definitely a factor right now for Hellraisers.
I don't know what to say. It's 13-15. And we said it. We said it that goddamn round. It was like look at the money now as well.
Angel just buying right away, just, showcases frustration. Meanwhile, his teammates are just upgrading a pistol here and there. 1 armor, actually, from Stico as well, but...
Oh, my
yeah,
word.
they... very hesitant. Very hesitant there.
Come on, Hellraisers, pull it together. This is your game to pick it up. You've got to be able to, close out these games. It's all good and well getting close, getting to overtime. That looks great maybe once in a while on HLTV, but that doesn't matter in the big picture here. And, well, that gun's gone really, really far. Well done.
Worth.
It's recoverable at least, so that comes back into the hands of the Hellraisers side. I'm trying to think, did Angel actually save that from the round prior? I think he stayed alive, so I don't think he bought that. So at least there's some small silver lining.
My brain is a mush.
Well, you've been watching Hellraisers try and close this game for like 5 rounds here, and I don't blame you for finding that one a little tough to watch. It's the fact that it always tends to happen. But there's still a couple more throws in here from Hellraisers.
Wow. As I realized that, I'm like, where's my brain?
It's just seeping through your nose, it's all over at this point. You've been sat here watching Hellraisers just go, let me feed towards Dennis again. It looks really good fun, guys. How about we do the 1-by-1 push towards A? It's worked out perfectly. Funny enough.
Well, it happens to the best of us.
It does, let's be honest. A lot of teams have felt the pressure that Fnatic brings in these sort of rounds. They don't falter when they're given these opportunities. This is quite a nice little play, though. Smite being boosted up. Couldn't make much more of that, sadly, but that's quite a nice little quirky play. And now we're on that dreaded marker. The 1 round where Hellraisers can win it in regular time. They have the money to buy here. However, Fnatic have been stringing these back-to-back now.
They definitely have. And, well, Hellraisers, they have a lot of options here. They've had a lot of successful rounds. For example, that A piece they did worked wonderfully. Fnatic show a lot of respect. Well, why not? That's matchmaking-esque stuff. In Pro League, why not? No, it happens every now and again. But let's see what they do here. All so far that's happened is Angel losing a bit of HP. There is still all to play with here for Hellraisers. All kinds of grenades. Angel gets boosted mid. Might be trying to go for a peek. See what's going on. Actually, twist here in connector could be problematic for him.
1 minute and 14 seconds. Jesus.
Not even close.
Close enough. Yeah, still a lot to play. You can see that Hellraisers know that everything comes down to this round for them. If it goes to overtime, you've got to say that Fnatic will probably start pulling ahead. It's just how they do this. Problem being, where do Hellraisers take this? Their A hits have been absolutely abysmal. They haven't had much Molly, will that actually reach 0? I don't think it has. He's just on the other side of the box and it hasn't spread that far. It looks like Hellraisers have got the mid control. They're going to do that mid to B play. Now you've got Twist, Olaf, and Lekro not far from this. Good positions actually to play off the back of this one. I don't know if they're going to check for Olaf. They must do. They have to. Otherwise, it's going to happen. There it is. Olaf Meister with 3 kills to deny Hellraisers what could have been the perfect opportunity in this one. It's left Zero and Angel with so few opportunities here. And even less now. Angel has to go above and beyond for his team. 20 seconds left, and it looks so unlikely. The bomb is left in Olaf Meister's den, and well, it's all fallen apart, hasn't it?
It definitely has. And again, just a massive play from Olaf Meister. In that box, and well, now Olaf, there's a guy in front of you. That's the quad kill for Olaf Meister in round number 30 to bring it into overtime. And that's gonna be Hellraisers again. Just losing that magical opportunity they had. This time even more. They were up, what, like 15-9. Something
so.
along those lines anyway. They had a massive lead. They just threw it away.
John Mitchell, I don't know what's going on, mate. You know? I just don't know anymore. Some hot CS is what he's saying. Some hot CS.
Definitely not moist.
Oh, for God's sake. I've told you about that word. It makes me feel very bad about life. No. You know, you have those words that you absolutely detest. That is one of mine. It makes my skin crawl. But 15-15, let's discuss this because it's all good and well saying, it's just something that Fnatic does. They always bring it back if you give them a chance. Why are they so much more able to do this in other teams? You know, let's be as sweeping statement as you can about it. But it always seems to be Fnatic.
They don't lose their cojones. In the end, seriously, when they're pressured, they still dare to do things. I think the prime example there was Dennis, how he was playing around the edges of smokes, just pop flashing his way through, getting those couple of crucial kills to just stop a push, and then it kind of affected Hellraisers. They became very hesitant. Well, as they were supposed to push this bomb side, they kind of waited for too long. They seemed like they were going to go on an A hit, but then fell back. They boosted with a middle, and then went back for an A hit. And even then, it didn't really look like an actual A hit. It was kind of a scrappy little play towards that bomb site. And Fnatic says, "Thank you," just picking up kills left, right, and center, 1 by 1.
See, this is the thing, right? For me, I just don't understand how a team like Hellraisers, who have incredibly robust players, who have experienced players, can still allow this to happen. Surely is this an in-game leader thing where they have to kind of discuss and say, guys, what's going on? Is this a coach thing that you have to do? I don't know where you kind of. I say put the blame. Put the blame sounds harsh. It's not what I mean by that, but it's like, where do you put the responsibility of handling it towards?
It's kind of one of the things you can do is you just have that many set plays, so you can just basically say that we have, instead of running defaults and just playing very loose, where it's a lot about just on the fly kind of decision making, which is easy to do. Okay, I'll smoke highway, you Molotov this and that, we go. Yeah. But you'll just have a lot of set pieces, even for those kind of post-default strats. So you just name a lot of things you can just say, let's do this, and then everyone knows exactly what they're going to do, where they're going to go, who's going to be aggressive on it, who's going to go there. That might be some way to make it happen. I mean, I remember in my teams back in the day, we had a lot of issues in doing on-the-fly stuff. A lot of it had to be just named strategies, even if they were very close to each other. So, when you say a certain strategy, then everyone knows exactly what to do. Yeah,
there's no doubt. There's no second guessing.
Exactly, no second guessing. That might be one way to get across that.
Well, they need to do something. Let's be very clear about this. You've made errors to get to this point. It's some of them were forced, some unforced as well. So 50-50 on this. Credit to Fnatic for remaining stoic, remaining that Fnatic side that can always bring this back. But also you have to put pressure towards Hellraisers, saying you can't let advantage like that slip. So still, back into overtime now. It's 15-15. We are getting ourselves prepared for this, and if it goes to true to trend, Fnatic close these. They close these every day of the week. They now have that full utility. They're not playing with just those UMPs, that kind of shoddy purchase. This is what they want. So again, if you want to read it like before, this is where it happens. But look at mid. Already, Fnatic trying to do new things, switching something up here. Twist going to be boosted up towards mid.
Yeah, it's again, they dare to make plays, no matter the situation, but whoops. Twist slips away. Makes his way back. I'm not sure if he was hurt though, but he's just gonna wait there for Hellraisers to do the first move. Smike though, he's taking an angle towards Vent, and who gets a kill through the box? 3 more T's there to play against.
And another.
Benton, I don't know what happened there. Gets a kill. But Bondic and Angel, though, they go for the trades. They make it a 3-4-2. So it's a 3-on-2 situation as well. That's going to favor Hellraisers. Now Dennis, he dares to make a play. Goes for the massive spray. And look at the HP on Angel and Bondic. And also Zero as well, actually. Since they're all low. But Olof with an AWP, and he obviously cannot be 100% sure on the HP on the HR players. So he's probably going to be on the save.
Yep, as you said. It's going to play this out. And that's the first time we've seen Hellraisers take those extended fights in mid. You know, they may have gone for a trade or two or tried to play off the back of it, but that's also the first time we saw Fnatic as well, really showing that Olofmeister's going a little bit out of his way here. This is kind of worrying. You've got Bondic just off to his left. This isn't good. There you go. It's gone. Maybe a little careless, needless. I'm not sure. You know, he knew they were low, trying to get some exits. Cool, but a little worrying. But let's come back to that because, yeah, that's the first time we saw that real kind of extended fight through mid. Was that just Fnatic playing differently? Maybe playing a little bit more to what Hellraisers would have wanted?
Yeah, I mean, they pushed middle, and then when Hellraisers realized the fact that, okay, they are playing aggressive in mid, then they went on and took that fight. And they were the ones to come out on top of it. Managed to create a 3-on-2 opportunity, which then went their way. They won the round as well. So that was more just reacting to things that were happening around them.
Okay, Hellraisers finally get around back on their T side. I don't know if this is just
not having
cruelty.
to really do anything.
No, exactly. That was just
winning battles.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of given the opportunity and they took it, which is fine by me. You know, whatever works at the end of the day. For them, probably an incredible sigh of relief after what was a very, very dire run of rounds. But let's look at what we've got here coming in for Hellraisers. So you've got, you know, still everything you need. You've got all those mollies. They can molly out vents right now. I think that's Angel's job at the moment. And to be fair, Olofmeister has been playing it on quite a regular occasion. So again, could create chances to them playing towards mid, trying to exploit towards B. Good response though, again. Fnatic looking calm, looking chilled out, not really giving away much. It looks like Hellraisers quickly do want to get that B control building. Maybe a 3-2 split here. There's still 3 players from Fnatic in the right place. And Olofmeister going to re-smoke that. I don't know if that gave away his spot. I'm not sure if it did. I don't think they saw how it bounced, but they should check it regardless. But Zero just gifts himself to the gods and hopes for the best. But it's a 5v4 now, and this split has certainly hit the brakes.
Yeah, and there's 3 Fnatic members on this B bomb side. Stico getting killed on Olof. Still 2 more here. Electron Twist on this B-bomb side. I'm not sure if Hellraisers are going to expect this. When Dead is now on this high ground. It's taking out my Angel though, and that Pop Flash might do a lot to stop the push. Come in, Twist again. I think it must have been the mouse wheel. Let's do go with 2 massive kills. And it looks like it's going to be a second round going the way of HR on overtime. As that Molotov is completely going to be whiffed by Vincent.
And he still makes it count. Okay. Nice. That's just how it goes. Bondic's closing in from the back though, so this should be a closeout round there. But you know, after killing Dennis, I think you'd think, oh, that's got to be it. You killed 2 players by B. You killed Olaf pushed up, Dennis up high. You maybe expected 1 on site, but 2 of them, and then the mouse wheel jump that just has been such a pain. But it's just Twist, isn't it, who's been suffering from this?
Yeah, there's unfortunately there's certain mouses that have that problem, and they are very popular mouses too.
Yep.
So
man.
it's unfortunate. And look at that, Fnatic now, their money, they don't have any.
Yeah, they are poor.
Dennis and Benton with FAMASas and the rest of the team just with upgraded pistols. Stick already made his way towards that white box. He's going to have a peek on highway. And he might even get a cheeky way towards that A-bomb site without anyone really spotting him.
And that's nice as well from Angel, just holding the angle that could possibly undo that, allowing Sticko to only worry about anyone at the top of highway, playing from maybe barrels or whatever. Just gonna play off the back of each other. Now they're going away. Now they've shot at least once. That means, you know, the jig's up. They know what's going on. Wenton's still alive, though, playing from Forklift. He's had relative success before. Going to turn the flash, go back in on the peak towards Squeaky. Can't find it. Bondic denies that. Now Angel comes up highway, shuts it down as well. This is good so far. 4v2. They should have this one under wraps here. Olofmeister and Lekra left with incredibly limited options. Pop flash towards the truck. Quick little peek. Gets absolutely wrecked. And now, of course, Olofmeister finds Smike, brings it back to a 2v2. Now they have guns. This is how Fnatic get rounds, and I don't understand it sometimes. But, again...
I think it's a good plan for Zero, so... But that Molotov makes a world's difference.
Was that not too?
Never mind. Bondic now has a Molotov. All the grenades, but doesn't have an idea of Olofmeister being so close. Who's going to push in, and now it becomes a one-on-one duel, and Olofmeister somehow managed to class it out. I don't think he has enough time, though, does he? It's very close.
That's incredibly close.
Nope,
No.
no time.
Of course, that's the round that Fnatic almost win. Of course it is.
Yeah, well, that Molotov getting picked up there, and then
Yeah.
obviously, that just turned the tides in that 2-on-2 situation. But then Bondic still being a hero in the end, and that's going to be, well, 3 straight rounds for Hellraisers on that T side.
Could you not do that in regular time, guys?
No, why not?
You know what I mean? They just want to make these guys
all they
wait
needed
longer.
is 1 out of the last, what, 7?
That makes sense, you know?
Why not?
But to be fair, when you go into overtime, you've got to kind of mentally reset, don't you? You have to sit there and go, all right, guys, let's start again. Let's, we know what the issues were. Pick it up like we knew before. Just keep, we know what worked. Don't need to drop the ball here. Let's just close out. Now, if it goes to plan, Fnatic didn't have the most phenomenal T side. It wasn't the best in the world. Hellraisers held their own on the CT side. They have a good round buffer here as well. They shouldn't drop too much here. They should be able to close it out. A lot of shoulds, if, buts, and maybes as well. Because it's still Fnatic and they're still deadly. So I'll never write these guys out, but against the odds we go.
Stico gets tacked up through the wall by Twist there. With that up, only makes 35 damage though, but still something. Smike though, with a very aggressive approach on B. He gets 1, makes it 2 on Benton as well. And that's going to be the opportunity they needed as he tries to burn alive though.
And Smike before was giving away some of those first kills. Let's remind ourselves, back when this happened originally, Smike would occasionally get caught out. Olofmice would do it.
Get out, Angel. You're in a 5-on-3 advantage.
You don't need it.
You don't need to be the aggressor anymore. Get the heck out of there.
It's these sort of things that give away... What are you doing, Angel? Stop it. Don't give him a chance. There's no need. As you said, you have the upper hand. Chill out. If Lekr opens that door and you get a little bit of pressure from main, you can just get caught here. Lekr doesn't fancy it. He's going to chill out. But you give small opportunities away with these sort of things. Small.
Yeah, well, and Fnatic, that's all they need. A lot of the times, but when you have a 5-on-3 opportunity, you fall back, you play passively. Angel gets Molotov out of his position now. There's going to be 2 HR players on this bomb site. The bomb is making its way to A main. Still quite far off, so 35 seconds on the clock. And that third guy from Hellraisers is coming into this A side as well. Bondic missing a few of these shots. And here comes the push.
And it's working. Fnatic have a step in here. Angel's burning alive. He can't really do much about it, but it's down to Lekr in the 1v2. Fnatic did as much as they could towards the A side, but they've left with a huge disadvantage here. Can Lekr do anything? Just no is the simple answer to that. Hops up, gives himself over to Hellraisers, and they actually close out Cash. Now, after that regular time ending, I didn't think we'd see that result, if I'm honest. I thought Fnatic would pick up where they left off in regular time and just run with it.
Yeah,
however, Hellraisers reset a little.
Yeah, I mean, not able to win any of the last 6 rounds on the T side, then you get 3 in a row in overtime. Just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah.
It is just.
It really is.
It is weird. I mean, they didn't do anything,
Massively different,
yeah,
or obviously the first round was a bit of a difference because Fnatic pushed up as well.
Exactly, that was because of how Fnatic was playing. But anything else, pretty much all the same. Just no hesitation.
Yeah. And the difference that makes on this level is massive. And I can imagine there's a lot to be said about this game as well, from start to finish, whether it be overtime or not. Let's head over to the desk to break that one down for you guys.
Thank you very much, Lauren. And of course, now to a bit of a marathon so far tonight, boys. Double overtime. Let's wind it back, though, of course, to that first half here. We saw a lot of those CT-sided rounds being kind of won and lost on Smike's positioning. Hellraisers were using him very extensively to go for early peaks.
Definitely, as we talked about in the pre-match, that there's a lot of room for aggression on this map, and we were questioning whether Hellraisers will be able to nail the timing pretty much, and it was up and down at times, but when it worked, it pretty much won them the round. They were able to close it out afterwards, but the first gun rounds they lost was when Smike was killed early on, right? And Fnatic capitalized on it. But all in all, I'm pretty, surprised by Hellraisers. They performed far better than I would have expected it from them.
Do you think this is a strong Hellraisers performance and not so much just a weak Fnatic one?
Bit of both. I think Fnatic, to touch on your point at the start of the night about Venton and how he's getting game lead, I think they lacked a little bit of organization in their play this evening. They were relying on the old one-trick pony, Olaf and occasionally Dennis, but more so to find the opening picks. And it certainly doesn't work. They've got room to improve. I think it's, Cobble I can maybe dismiss where they haven't played it very much, but I can't on Cash. I'm sorry. They've played that enough this season. We expect more from them. To touch on the point about Smike, though, very good from him. And a game, from him that we need to see more of, I think, because it's a name on this team that everyone kind of overlooks. He's the new guy without the history, without any pedigree. He's played for a while, as you said, but not really at a high level. And I think that was very impressive to see the dynamic play from him. You kind of have to take those risks and sort of engage Fnatic in that way, because if you sit back, that's when they start rolling. They're kind of like, I think, I don't want to dig into another analogy, but they're almost like Virtus.Pro in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you give Fnatic room, they'll take every bit of it.
I think it's also, you know, apparent that Hellraisers did watch previous Fnatic's games on cache that they prepared for them, because Fnatic likes to, you know, throw those smokes mid, like they're going for a B split, and then just pretty much explode out of squeaky door. And you could see that when they tried to execute that round, Hellraisers didn't move from the A bomb site at all, so they were pretty, you know, well prepared for it, so to speak.
And then we saw Sticko very much step up on the second half there as well, when we saw the T side come out for Hellraisers. Fnatic were looking for options early in that half anyway to sort of respond to this. And we saw a very interesting round where they set up for a complete A retake there, and Sticko just managed to dominate them. So early on it seemed that Hellraisers were struggling for options, but they were constantly being given that mid control by Fnatic. Do you think that was a wise decision? Do you think it worked well for Fnatic as they started to get those rounds back?
I think it was a calculated decision, in a sense, them relying on Hellraisers not really being, you know, prepared to execute after they just get mid-control for now. I think they're more looking to, as we saw in the first round of overtime, they're looking to get duels there and to get a man advantage early on, pretty much. So I think it was a calculated decision, but in the end, it wasn't quite enough for Fnatic.
Yeah, we talk about the sort of the end of that second half as we sort of crept closer to overtime. It seems like Hellraisers really took their foot off the gas. We sort of talked about them and sort of bigged them up as a team that is not afraid to be aggressive. Angel is an example we use there as well. They were given this mid-control by Fnatic, and then it seemed like they were very slow in pushing onto these sites. Was that, like you said, it was maybe an unwillingness or a lack of preparation to execute from that part of the map?
Well, I thought he was asking you, but then you looked
No, I mean, yeah.
I made a noise, I know. I was thinking about it too.
I mean, probably so, because at times it's hard. There are a lot of, if you want to go up highway, there are a lot of positions where you can get shot from. Some teams just use, you know, the smoke to smoke off highway, then flash through it. That makes it a bit easier. You also have the surprise factor there pretty much. But I think in the end, what was really important was early on in the first half, actually, Hellraisers won a couple of clutch rounds, which were super important when the economy was low for them. The 0-1v1 when he jumped onto quad. I think that was the round that gave them some breathing room, pretty much.
I think as well, in my opinion of Highway, it's just such a long and vast, you know, rotation to get from mid even as a T. It's the same distance at a CT playing Z to get to truck, who can also kill you from there, not to mention quad, like you're saying. I think that has to be more of a lurk position where you're actually, if you're splitting A, you're still putting the primary focus. First off, you need the smoke behind the red crate to cover off quad for the player at Highway, and then you still have to focus on coming out A main and from Squeaky. I think your primary should always be into the A site directly and let mid be the lurk. If they're giving you that much control and you can get that many players down, maybe, you know, you got the option event, but establish the position. Don't rely on the position. You don't have to push up Highway with 3 or 4 players.
It's almost like you're allowing the CTs to keep you at arm's length and actually sort of peek out from quad and sort of pick you off long range, maybe a little bit more safer than what teams would like to do.
I guess my point is you can't rely on mid and highway alone for the reasons he's saying. You kind of have to have someone else to support it from the A site specifically.
All right, well, it was a 1-1 split between these two teams in the series. 19-16 was the score for that last map. If you don't want to know about the other score, you can get the app, The Score Esports, available on your iPhone and Android devices. You can find them at your respective app stores. Download it. Of course, that's the scores from all our games from tonight, prior, and our articles will be on the regular to keep you up to date with how CS is going. But we're going to go to a break, and when we return, we're going to talk about our next series of the night. That one's going to be an absolute cracker. We'll give you a bit of a prelude after the break.